everyone, so welcome to today's video. We are doing a full face tutorial today. We are playing with all the goodies that I shared with you in my Sephora haul video last week. I have been wanting to put these products on my face. In fact, I want to put more and I want to layer everything, but we're just kind of taking it easy, trying some of these products out, and I'm going to give you my thoughts as we go. And I'm looking at everything that I used today to complete this look, and I'm really happy so far with everything. Of course, I'm going to have to see how everything wears, the concealer, the contour, the bronzer, and just kind of seeing how it all kind of wears throughout the day as I go about my day and do what I need to do around the house. But this is the look. It's bronzy, it's smoky, but it's easy to do. It's not over the top. It's not really dark, but it's not light and natural like a no makeup look. We kind of went middle of the road, happy medium, and I'm going to talk you through the whole thing. So if you want to see the entire face, then just keep watching. So we're going to go in with some concealer. I have my foundation already applied, and I'm using the ABH Magic Touch Concealer, and I purchased shade number 3, which I feel like is more of a skin tone match versus it being a little bit lighter and more brightening, which is what I wanted it to be. But my first impressions in this video was that it did have some good coverage and it applied very well, and it kind of worked honestly with the foundation. I don't see a problem with the color. I just wish it was a little bit brighter. Then I'm going to set everything with my Huda Beauty setting powder. This is the Easy Bake. I want to say it's Poundcake, the shade that I have. It's a great powder, by the way. Then we're moving on to the Milk makeup products that I purchased. I have the contour, the blush, and I found the bronzing stick in my collection. I have a drawer full of new products and samples, things like that that I get when I purchase products online that I haven't even gotten a chance to use. So this was one of them, and the bronzer actually blended out quite nice, as you can see. I decided to go in with the contour before continuing with the bronzer. I feel like that's the first thing I should have done. This is in the shade called Toasted, and I'm using my IT Cosmetics brush, which is great, by the way, and these products blended out so well. I actually really like this tone, so if you're fair like me, the shade Toasted is perfect. Then I'm going in with the bronzer, and I'm just kind of applying that a little bit more like on the tops of my cheekbone and blending everything together. And like I said before, these blend out so well. They're creamy, but they're not extremely luminous and dewy, but they're not completely matte. So I really like the finish of these products. And then I got to contour the jawline. So I'm using the same Milk Makeup Toasted. Then we're going in with the blush. This is the Patrick Ta blush in She's Blushing. So I started off with the powder, and I'm using a brush from the Morphe brand, and I'm just applying this like I normally would, but I'm trying to keep the color a little bit higher on the cheekbones, and this does have a bit of a luminous finish. And then I topped it with the cream blush, and I'm just kind of playing around really with layering these two colors and products, doing the powder first, then the cream. But I like it. So this is what the complexion looks like, really pretty, very fresh. Then for some highlight, decided to try my e.l.f. Halo Glow. This is in the Champagne Campaign color. I just completely messed that up, sorry. It's the lightest color that they came out with, and it's beautiful. I've been wearing it every single day, honestly. It's so easy to blend. It's so beautiful on the skin, and the way it looks, it sits beautifully over creams and also over powders. I love it, and if you haven't tried it, pick it up, thank me later. It's only $9 and it is really, really fantastic. Before moving on to the eyes is the finishing powder. This is the Airbrush Flawless finishing powder from Charlotte. It is incredible. It really just smooths everything out, makes the pores disappear. It is such a great powder. You have to try it. And here is the complexion look so far. Alright, so here is the completed complexion. Before moving on to eyes, I kind of want to touch base with you as I kind of fast forwarded through the application, but I so far really like the way this comes out. The complexion looks nice and fresh. The mixing of the foundations, I feel like I found a new combo that I want to keep trying again and wearing every single day. I love those two together. And I'll have everything listed for you in the description box, by the way. the contour, the cream bronzer, the highlighter, the Patrick Ta blush duo looks really pretty. The concealer blended out really well. I do feel like I have a little bit of creasing under my eyes already. It might just be the concealer mixed with the Huda powder. It could also be too much concealer. So it's one of those that I have to keep playing with, but I already can see a little bit of creasing, which is not bad. I can fix that with my damp beauty sponge, kind of tap that out, and I think it'll be okay. So I do think so far everything has been performing well, blending well, applying nicely, and everything is playing well so far. So we'll see how this continues to wear throughout the day, but I think it's time to move on to the eye look for today. So today's eye look is going to be with the Pat McGrath mini palette. This is the Sublime Smoke palette. This is just absolutely adorable. I love the packaging, that really pretty peach with the gold, and the 6-pan setup here is really, really nice and really simple and kind of smoky, bronzy, all the things that I like, so we're going to use this today. I'm going to take my BK Beauty 212 brush, and I'm going to go in with the middle shade on the top row, which is called Taboo, and it's a matte warm tan. So that color is really nice and pigmented. I do have a little bit of skipping right here. I think it's just the powder going over my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, which is what I used as primer today. So I'm going to go around the edges with a clean wispy brush. This is the 211 from BK Beauty. And I'm going to just buff out those edges just to kind of get rid of any skipping that I may have. I'm going to take a little bit of my extra translucent powder that I have here on my makeup desk, and I'm going to go around the edges and buff that out and easily kind of fix any mistake. And with the BK Beauty 204, which is a smudge brush, I'm going to take that same color and run it on my lower lash line. I'm going to do it pretty thick here in this outer part and then kind of taper it in as I move towards the inner corner of my eye. And then again with that same wispy brush from earlier, the 211, I'm just going to go right underneath really quickly just to soften those edges out a little bit so it's not as harsh. So for the lid, I want to do something shimmery. There's 3 options for shimmer in this palette. You have 2 tones of bronze and then that champagne kind of ivory cream shade. So that's what the swatches look like there. My camera will focus. You have one that's more warm with a bit more copper, one cool, and then that light shade that you could use on the lid or for highlighting the inner corner, which is what I'm going to do with that light shade, but I think I want to go on with this color here. So I'm going to take the more cool tone one, and that's called Bronze Eclipse, and that's this little one right here. It's on the top row, the last eyeshadow, and I'm going to use a BK Beauty 209 brush to apply that to my lids. That color's so pretty. I don't think the camera is going to do it justice. It's beautiful. I love it. And you know what? Since we're already here, I might as well just take the more warm tone shade from the bottom row. This one is called Bronze Blaze, and I'm going to use that on the outer part of my lid. Same brush. I'm just going to wipe it off, tap off my excess, and then just apply it. Those applied beautifully, came together so well. I mean, I didn't expect any less, honestly, because Pat McGrath is really good quality eyeshadows. And I'm just kind of blending over everything, mostly my crease with that wispy brush, just to make sure everything looks good. As I work and apply layers, I like to kind of do a little blending so that everything comes together and looks more clean at the end of my look. I'm going to take the BK Beauty 210 brush, which is a very small detail, kind of like a pencil style brush, and I'm going to go in with this dark brown here. You have 2 options, this one that's a little bit more warm, and this is like a chocolate brown, and this is like a deep, almost like a black brown espresso type of shade. And so the one that I'm going to start with is number 6, which is Extreme Mahogany. That one is, I believe it's the one that's in the Rose, Divine Rose Mothership palette, which is the one that I have, and it's a really nice shade, and I honestly use it a lot. Take a little bit of that and kind of start smudging it a little bit on the outer part of my eye. And I'm mostly going to just place that color where I want it, and then I'll go back and blend with a different brush. And then back in with my crease brush, and I'm just going to soften those edges and kind of blend that together. And I added just a little bit to create a bit of depth and dimension. You can certainly add more or less if you want. It's really personal preference, but I wanted to add something a little bit darker and deeper, more rich on the outer V. I feel like that really pulls everything together. I'm going to take the same color, same brush, and go on the lower lash line. Then I'm taking the light shade for my inner corner and brow highlight. That is number 1. That's Skin Show Divine Glow. Like it looks a little bit more warm because it's mixed with that dark shade. I should have cleaned my brush off. Oopsie. Let's try to fix that a bit. Okay, we're going to try that again with a different brush that is clean, that doesn't have anything dark on it. And I'm just going to add a little bit more and then right through the highest point of my brow. And for that, I'm using a Profusion ES7 brush. And we have one more shade in this palette to use, and that is the deepest and darkest shade, which is number 4, and that's called Extreme Dusk. And that is the really deep, rich espresso black brown shade. And I'm going to use that probably as an eyeliner first with an angled brush. And I'm just going to add that to the root of my lash, kind of like the base. And I might go over that with a liquid liner or pencil liner. I'm not sure. That's a nice, gives a nice soft smoky effect really close to the lash line, which I like. And I'm glad that that shade is matte in the palette. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the Makeup by Mario Master Pigment Pro Pencil in the Perfect Brown, which I also did pick up during the sale. And I think I'm going to run that just a little bit right across. Probably should have done this first so I can see the actual tone of the pencil before mixing it with the eyeshadow. But that went on like a dream, and it's a nice, rich chocolate brown. It really is nice. Then I have to complete everything with some mascara. I normally don't put any eyeliner in my waterline. Almost got tongue twisted there. So the mascara that I'm going to use is one that I recently opened up. It's the Makeup Forever one. I don't want to open up a new one, like the one that came in the Sephora favorites that I shared in my video last week that I also picked up during the sale, because I don't like to have a bunch of new mascaras open and used at the same time. I've been using my Tarte Tubing Mascara, which I love. I decided to try this one out, and I'm not quite digging this one as much as I thought. So I'm going to just use this one today. It's got a 2-step system. The first step is the lift, which has a very thin brush, which is great for the lower lash line. I do like that. It kind of creates the base layer for the mascara, gets a coat of mascara on each lash, and then you go in with step 2, which adds the volume. It's a bit of a bigger brush. I don't know, I'm just not really feeling it, but because it's already open and I've been using it, I'm going to finish it up. So that's what I'm going to do to wrap up the eye look for today. You see a difference? The eye that's done without anything. I mean, there is some good volume definition, but I think I still prefer the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk mascara, the Tarte Tubing mascara, even the L'Oreal Lash Paradise over this. Alright, so here is the full face completed. I did do my lips and I combined a few products. So first, I started off with the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk lined, and I also filled in almost the entire lip. I filled in with the pencil. Then I decided to go over it with the Gxve lipstick that was in the Sephora favorite set. This is the Anaheim Shine lipstick in the shade called Stomp box, and it kind of went on a little bit drier than I expected. I don't know, I thought Anaheim Shine meant that it was going to be a kind of creamier, more shiny finish, but it's not. It actually looked a little bit more matte. And then to top everything off, I went over it with the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Gloss, which was also part of that Sephora favorite set in the shade called Rosy Outlook. And that is the lip look for today. I do like that pinkiness, that little bit of rose, a little bit more depth, and a little darker than what I normally go for. I tend to go for a little bit lighter of a pink, but I do think that this shade, the rose, kind of matches and goes with the bronze and the brown tones. So I do think everything looks pretty good. I don't know. Tell me in the comments, what do you think? So far, I'm really pleased with everything, and I'm glad that I had a very positive outcome with the products that I ordered. I didn't expect any less from the Pat McGrath eyeshadows. I'm kind of used to the formula, so I knew that was going to be great and A+ right off the bat. But the other products are sort of new to me, like the lipstick, the gloss, which, by the way, the gloss did have a little bit of a minty kind of cooling feel, but since I put it on to now, which has only been maybe 10 minutes, it actually kind of died down a bit, and I just don't really feel it. It doesn't feel sticky or goopy, which is great, but the plumping wasn't very stingy, burning, or anything like that. So far, so good, and I'm very pleased. So now I feel like I can keep using this every single day, because I wasn't sure if this was going to burn or feel kind of weird on the lips, but it doesn't. It feels nice. I do like the glossy finish. I do feel like it made the lip look smoother and kind of filled everything in, because this lipstick from Gxve was a bit more matte than I expected. But I really do like it. I think everything came out really good. It's a nice smoky look, but it's not super dark. It also wasn't very difficult to use and to apply and put together the colors. I feel like the color story here is just simple. It's 6 shades, but you can honestly, like I did today, use them all and create a look with it. So I will be using this again. I really adore this little gem. It's so tiny and cute, but it was really nice. And then the rest of the products, I think, are pretty good. I'm going to keep using it. The E.l.f. Halo Beauty ones, those I probably will use in a different video, or maybe do something with them in my makeup routine for tomorrow, because I just felt like it was too much contour, too much bronzer. I just didn't want to layer a bunch of different things. I really wanted to stick with mostly the Sephora haul products that I shared last week. So that is it. The description box down below, you guys, will have everything that I am using, even the products that I already had on at the start of the video, which are the base products. Check out the description for what they are and my color range in those products. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can follow me on Instagram. It's always on the screen. It'll pop up here. We can be friends. We can chat there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.